Well, good evening and welcome to tonight's show. And tonight's video is brought to you courtesy of China. China, as Trump would say. It's true. Yes, tonight's show or video is brought to you courtesy of China. And why China? Because I'm a consumer and I buy consumer products, and a lot of those consumer products these days come to us straight from China. So therefore, a lot of China has been in my view, put it that way, in the last week or so, with products I have purchased and stories in the news that I have come across, as well as past experience dealing with China and places that I worked. So I thought I would try to tie it all together here in this episode and discuss our problems with China and the crap that they ship to us over here in North America and around the world. Meanwhile, they have stolen or have been given by our leaders and politicians most of today's technology that is available in the world, or that is produced in the world, has been made available to China through our corrupt politicians and have sold us out. So now they have the technology at very little to no cost to them, and they have decided to take over the manufacturing of the world, pretty much. And that's where the trouble lies with China and being a consumer of their products is today. So let's start off by saying, first off, I needed a new pen, writing pen. That's right. Because my old one had run out and it was my favorite pen, and I don't know if a lot of you out there write, but I do quite a bit of writing, and I like a pen that flows and feels good in the hand and actually allows you to sculpt your letters according to your mood, basically, without missing a beat. Because most pens, let's face it, take a regular standard Bic and you're writing along and it doesn't flow smooth. It catches up in the paper, or at least it feels as if it's catching up in the paper as you write. Sometimes it'll skip and miss little spots here and there in your writing where the ink doesn't flow properly, or it'll flow too much in one area and none in another, or whatever. You guys know how it works. So I like a nice pen when I'm writing things, and I like to make sure, because I like to hin scratch, as people call it. Now, most people can't understand my hin scratch, but I can, and I like to hin scratch. And it's bad enough trying to reread that hin scratch, let alone having a pen that doesn't work properly and blunders up your hin scratch. So I use the Uniball Vision Elite 0.7 millimeter. Yeah, I believe it's 0.7. Yeah, and I did buy Vision Elite BLX, which is a 0.08 millimeter Uniball. But anyway, I stopped by my friend Tim's, and that wasn't the only thing I purchased this day. I did purchase another item that I'm going to bring up here as well in this video. But anyway, I stopped by my friend Tim's, and we were talking, and I said, yes, I just purchased myself some new pens. I bought 12 of them, or 6 of them, I'm sorry, 3 in a pack, $12.99 per pack. So I said I just purchased them because my pen ran out, and this is the only pen that I really like for the things that I do, the type of thing I do. So I went and got some. He said, yeah. What is that? Probably cheap junk from China. I said, oh, I don't know. I said, this actually works and it's good. So I wouldn't say it was from China, but let's take a look at the package. So we Dug out the package out of the bag and looked on the back, and sure enough, I was correct. It was not made in China. It was made in Japan. So there you go, just so you know. Uniball Vision Elite, but pretty much anything made by Uniball is a good product when it comes to pens. Anyway, I don't know if they make any other products, but I really like their pens, and I always got to keep some on hand. So I made sure that I got a supply to keep me going for at least a few years, or a couple of years, because the last one lasted me, a good year. But now that I'm writing more than I was in the past year, I figure a good 6 months I should be able to get out of one of those, hopefully. So that shows that a good product, if you've got a good product, chances are it's not made in China. It's a good chance it's made in Japan, because Japan actually does make some pretty good stuff. Now that brings me to the next product that I purchased in the last couple of days, and this one I happened to purchase on the same day as the pens. And that is this thing right here that I'm talking through, which is called a which I had it right there, and I should know, a pop filter. And what a pop filter is, and I'm sure most of you out there know, but for any of the younger people that might be watching, a pop filter is just a piece of cloth or something that you put in front of your microphone, so that when you say your P's, it diffuses the air that's being sent at the microphone, so that it doesn't all hit it at once and make your microphone pop, or when you're listening back, your speakers pop, because I say p, 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 p. Now I'll take this away and say P words, p, p, and you'll hear that pop. But of course, now I put that back up in front and I diffuse those p, p, and you don't get that popping in your... So, I mean, it's good to have. However, I didn't check before I bought these products at the time, because it wasn't on my mind to. I just bought what I needed at the time. And I looked at the back before I took it out to see where it was made, and sure, it was made in China. That didn't give me hope right from the beginning once I seen it was made in China. But I said, it's only something that needs to be, it's nothing special. It's not a major piece of equipment that if it fails, broadcasting is brought down forever. It's just a piece of, well, back in the day, it was basically a coat hanger with a woman's nylon panties that might be ruined or have a hole in it, and you pull it over and you put it in front. So I basically, even if this does fail, it's just something cheap and can be jimmy rigged to do what its purpose is, which is to be a diffuser when I'm speaking into the microphone. So the fact of the matter is, the connection or the hook that they had for this is supposed to allow you to connect it to your desk or to the microphone stand itself, and then of course the arm that it's on is flexible and somewhat stiff. However, it is made in China. So let's get to the problems with it. First off, the clamp that they put on it to clamp to your desk or whatever it is you're clamping it to has to either be round, or it has to be square. I wouldn't say square, because my desk squares off, but it won't clamp to something flat because of the way the clamp that they made on it. The clamp comes in, well, I'd have to take it off to show you. So I stopped the regular video here so I could turn the camera around and take a shot of what I'm trying to show you. But if you look at the device itself, the arm on it is too long to have clamped to my microphone stand and have it comfortably come around and stay in place where I need it to in front of my microphone. So I have to clamp it to something. But if you see how the clamp is on the bottom one, it is in a V shape. And then the little round piece on the screw where it comes down to clamp on is a little round piece with V shapes cut into it. So it has to fit on like a little round thing like I have here on the stem of my lamp. It won't fit to something flat like my desk. So, which, when I go to clamp it to that, it all tilts and doesn't screw right, won't stay on steady. So kind of a weird design, but that's what you get in China. And the little round piece where it comes out at the end of the screw is very unstable and very poorly made. Feels like it's going to fall off at any time. So that's the quality of the products you get when you buy from China. Now, for the sake of fixing that problem, they could have put in, for another $1 or so. I mean, it was $21.99, $24, almost $25 with tax. For the sake of another $1, they could have put in a change-out clamp so that you could have one for putting it on something that's round or whatever, or something, switch it out and put it on something that's flat. Like, it's just a dumb design. I don't know who the engineer was of this shit, but anyway, it's a dumb design. But like anything from China, it's just cheap, and most of it, if it doesn't work properly, can be jimmy rigged. Like if you want a fly swatter, and you don't mind having to jimmy rig it up because it's not working properly, the handle broke because it's cheap, so you tape a ruler on for a handle, it'll work, right? And that's about all that you can get from China, that even if it does break, at least you can jimmy rig it to work. But if you want things that you need to work, and there's no getting around jimmy rigging it to work, because if it don't, then you don't want to buy it from China. An example of that is when I was working for a company here in Winnipeg. I'm not going to mention the name. This particular company decided they were going to stop making clevises for their product in-house, and they were going to get China to make clevises for them. And I did mention at the time, because at the time we were having problems with China's products, especially in their steel, because their steel just was not up to the same standards as our steel is here in North America. And they assured us things would be no problem. Now, they stopped making the clevises in-house when they got their first shipment in from China. And lo and behold, every piece, to start with, the shipment was late. The order was like 6 weeks late. So when they did get here, we stopped making them in-house. Come to find out that every clevis had a hairline fracture in the steel and could not be used in the manufacturing of the product that we were doing at the plant. So all of them had to go back. Long story short, they ended up having to reinstate making the part in-house, and in the long run, saved them money. So that's the moral of the story. If you want things that need to be dependable and work when they need to work, then China's not the place to buy that product. If it's a product that's just cheap and it doesn't matter if it breaks, you can buy them a dime a dozen, China's the place to go if you want a fly swatter. And the same goes for this. The fact that I can make one of these myself if I had a pair of nylons and an old-fashioned coat hanger, which used to be made out of wire, so it was easy to form the circle to put the cloth or whatever over. If I had that, I could do it myself. So if this does break, I can jimmy rig it up somehow so that it will hang in front of my microphone and do the job I need it to do. Last feature on this piece of garbage that I bought from Long and McQuaid, but was manufactured in China, is the long, flexible arm that they put on this. It actually is not strong enough to hold it in most positions. You have to have it just right or it'll flop down or not hold right. So not too hot on this particular product. And this particular product is not only sold at Long and McQuaid, but other places as well. And I will give you the name of it. It is Apex Accessories. And it is a pop filter. Now on the back here, it says 4625 Whitmer Industrial Estate, Niagara Falls, New York. And then at the very bottom, it says Made in China. So there you go. Made in China. So it is sold by a U.S. company, but they have it made in China. So there you go. And it's garbage. But for the price and what I need, and I kind of needed it now, it will do. So, but I wouldn't go out and spend any big amount of money on a Chinese product. Other product that I've purchased lately is this microphone itself. And I'm quite impressed with it. It's a USB-C microphone made by Audio-Technica, and it plugs into my phone. I'm quite impressed with the way it sounds, and I wear the headphones during the... I usually don't like to in most videos, but for this one I'm going to because I want to hear how everything sounds in my headphones as I'm talking, so that I understand where I need to be and how things sound according to where I am in relationship to the microphone, etc. So now that I have a good understanding that this is basically where I need to set when I'm talking to you, and it all seems to work well, the next video I won't wear these. But anyway, back to the fact that I bought this Audio-Technica last week. Is one of the other products that I've purchased. I had to check out and see where that was made as well, and I went online and hunted it down, and lo and behold, it is designed and engineered in Japan. Their headquarters is in Tokyo. So there you go. I'm not surprised that this product is engineered and designed by the Japanese, because it all seems to work quite well. No weird setup or engineering in order to have it work properly and do what you need it to do. The stand that it sits on is stable. The microphone picks up well. It has attachments so they can put the headphones in, and hey, what more can you say? So there's that product, and that's Japanese, so I'm happy with that. This is the junk, of course, and I don't buy a lot of stuff from China. I'm certainly going to make sure from now on that I look at the back of the packaging or whatever to see where most things are manufactured, because I know Chinese stuff is just not good. As we've learned over the years, I mean, we have had problems with China and their products for years. So most of their products that they ship to us, we can agree is garbage and doesn't work. It's cheaply made. Can even be fatal to us and our children and even our pets, as we've learned over the years. That was I forget, was that during the Bush administration or during the Obama administration, when they were shipping over the poison pet food. And then, of course, dangers to our children with some of the products that had, what was it? Well, it's basically laced paint, lead-based paint is what I'm trying to say. And those products had to be recalled. Several things that China has sent here has not been good for our health, has had to be recalled, or is absolute garbage that just don't work. And a lot of that garbage, if you look at the back of the packaging, is sold in Dollarama. I guess a lot of their stuff comes from China. So not a surprise, because, yeah, well, you waste a couple of bucks on a piece of crap from Dollarama. So what, it doesn't work. But we are supporting a country that doesn't respect us as a country, as a people, as a society, doesn't respect its own people, and we continue to support them by having their products shipped over here day after day, week after week. And we buy it up as if, there's nothing else out there like it. Got to have those Chinese products. Maybe it's time we stop buying their products and stop fueling their fight against us. Start taking back our freedom and, take back our freedom basically by manufacturing our own products and giving jobs to our people here in Canada, in North America. So that brings me down to the final story that I came across, and that's what I've been saying. A lot of this video is brought up because China has really popped up in my sites a lot in the last few days and weeks. And this story popped up in my news feed a couple of days ago. And it's a story about recalls at Toys R Us, Walmart, and Bed and Bath, and a bunch of other places. And it lists the products that were recalled. A lot of them are children's products, infant products, and the name of the companies were listed, and the products that they put out were listed as recalls. And of course, the whole story, which I believe was by CTV News, I will put a clip here in the video so that you can see the story that I'm talking about. But I read the whole story, and not one mention of the manufacturer of these products and where they come from. So, of course, I did a quick look on Google, and lo and behold, where do you think these products were manufactured? These products that are being recalled off of the shelves here in Canada in our retail stores. That's right, you guessed it. China, made in China. So, not a surprise. And some of these things, like I said, were for infants, bassinets, cribs, other things, not to mention toys. So, yeah, think twice before you go out and buy a product, and make sure you check to see who makes it. I don't want to be against the Chinese people, don't get me wrong. But I'm certainly against their government and the crap that they're trying to pull on us over here. And it's real sad to see that our leaders like Justin Trudeau is willing to bow to them, train our troops with them, and basically sell us down the river to them. So, be vigilant. Let your money do your talking. And tell China to take a hike. Have a good day.